All right, guys, I'm gonna check our audio. Gonna get our MLM set up. Okay. MLM. Let's connect. This is gonna go right here. Very cool. We're gonna go sand wedge. We're gonna work on some 50 to 110 yard shots. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Check, 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 check.
Nice, that sounds pretty good. I'm the vibration. It is cold out here today, guys. This fall is turning into winter so fast, it feels like. Alright, so this is still a practice glove, but maybe a little bit better. Trying to stay warm in here today. Alright. Almost ready to start loosening up and getting some swings in. Yeah. This is an extremely official operation, guys. Trying to keep the golf balls for golfing. And the leaves out of the way. It doesn't get any more official than this, guys. Oh, we got a rogue golf ball. Also, I do recommend using your glove if you're going to use other implements like this rake. You know, you don't want to get blistered up. There we go. Welcome to the stream, guys. Appreciate you all making time to stop by and say hello. So I've got my sand wedge. Oh, we're gonna get these golf balls all organized here, do a little bit of stretching. Then we'll start hitting some wedges using our MLM. Hey, Tim Smith is here. What's up, Tim? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Hopefully some of you are at least warmer. You're in warmer conditions than we are. Because I like golf. Me too, Tim. Golf is the best. Oh, want to hear my back crack? That's some good ones right there. Ah. What is it you like most about golf, Tim? Paul says, hello, John. Hello, Paul. Cold one today by the looks of it. Yes, we are in the high 30s Fahrenheit. So that's like single digits Celsius, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Really trying to remember how important it is to warm up and not just get into swinging. Right, we got to make sure our body is primed and ready to go. Tim says, I like watching it. It is relaxing. I agree with that. It definitely can be. It's funny. Nothing will put me to sleep as fast as, you know, a nice Saturday afternoon early coverage of a PJ Tour event. That's some good background napping. Jojo Vavasa said hi. Thanks for saying hi, my guy. Or girl. There is about 1% of you that are ladies out there. According to the analytics and things anyway. Depending on the day, could be like 5%. But mostly dudes. Which checks out, given I'm a dude talking about golf. Oh, man. Tell you, when it's cold, just takes that much longer for your body to feel like it wants to start moving. Hey, Steven's here. I'm having a putting session, put you on for company. Amazing, Steven. I'm probably going to do some putting myself in a little bit. Maybe we'll turn the stream back on for that, since we probably only have a bit. Tim says, I love your vids. John said hi. Hello, John. Oh. I'm not going to have a ton of time because this time of year it gets dark at like, 1 in the afternoon, it feels like. All right, first swing, we're going to go for a nice little 60-yarder. Kind of chunked it. Won't even lie. Yep. The RAPSODO said you didn't even hit it good enough for me to pick it up. Pull your knees up to your chest a couple times. Do you mean like jump or just like this? Or are we talking like something like that? Tim says, you're the best. Thanks so much, Tim. I'm glad to have your support. Also, guys, look, this is one of the better practice gloves I have, but we got to find a glove company because we hit so many balls out here. I think we could really do some good durability testing and discussion. Stand up. Okay, that makes sense. So we're going like this. I don't know how many of those my knee is going to have in it, but... Hello, crazy lady. Hi. That was a lot of speed coming down the stairs. That was a lot of speed. What's your brother doing? Go get him. Just lift knees to your chest. Oh, no jumping. That makes way more sense. Paul's like, you idiot. Yeah, huge bummer, guys. I found out that I'm going to need a complete and total ACL reconstruction in my left knee, which is a huge bummer. Yes, but higher. This is as high as we can go, I think. There's not much higher than this, Paul. So, has anybody, maybe somebody in the chat, if you've had your ACL reconstructed, tell me how it went, things I need to look out for. Because I'm pretty bummed out about it, not going to lie to you guys. I was hoping that it was just going to be something simpler like a meniscus or... what have you, but... you must be getting old, bud. Yeah, it certainly feels that way some days, Paul. I do work pretty hard on my mobility and stretching and stuff, but that's a new one. I've not really tried to get this knee as, up high like that. Come on, RAPSODO, give me something. Are there leaves in the way? Is that the problem? Hello, superstars. Hi. Where's your coat? Your brother has his coat on. Oh, do you want kisses? Thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna launch our launch monitor app again, unintended pun, and see if we can't get some good data on here. It's worked before. John says, I was at Top Golf yesterday. Very cool. I love golf, but you're the best at golf. Well, I'm glad you have so much confidence in me. As far as the golf goes, there certainly are lots of really good players out there, guys. Oof, you hear my knee cracking? You hear that? Sometimes I shift my weight and it just goes. Well, you can see if this wants to come back on. The other option is I just leave my knee alone, basically until it gives out or my ACL fully pops. I like Pinto Bean says, do you have a Discord? I don't have a Discord, but is that the kind of thing that you guys would be interested in? Tell me more, Pinto Beans, about what you would hope to see or get out of a Discord that I was running. I'm playing golf watching you. That's pretty cool. We went for a school reward trip. That's fun. It's a fun game to see who is dead through the triangles at the top. That's funny. Thankfully, we have never had any significant issues. Ugh. This is what it's like, guys, having two high energy dogs just running around the yard all the time. It's pretty great. I love it. Just gonna do the old-fashioned way, turn it off, turn it back on. Don't forget to stay hydrated when you're out practicing. You need a knee support, you can get them online. Well, it's funny you say that, Paul, because I got fitted for one of the like big intensive ones. It's like a pretty durable, what's it called? A durable medical equipment? Something like that. So I'm having one of those fitted for me. John says, have a great day. Thanks so much. I play golf, but I watch you more than I play golf. Well, that's an awesome vote of confidence. Paul says, whatever feels best. Yeah, my problem is I don't think it's going to be very comfortable to swing in, so I think it will help with the walking and maybe dealing with some of the instability that I experience when I'm walking. But I don't yet know. Look at these dogs. Look at you guys going crazy. All right, we're going to try one more thing and see if we can't get our launch monitor back up and running so we can run through some numbers. And hey, Corbin's here. What's up, Corbin? Appreciate you saying hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come say hi. Come here. Who's this guy? You crazy? He says, oh, I gotta chase my sister again. That's awesome. All right, well, we'll give that guy a second to think about turning on potentially. Whew. A Discord could be another place for you to interact with us. Could be a place for golf tips or maybe even a sobriety support group or all of the above. I like that idea. I'll do some more research, Pinto Beans. You can stand next to a wall and go up and down on your toes. I started playing golf at 40. What about you? I started playing around the age of 10, but not seriously and not competitively until later in high school, so maybe 14, 15. If your knee's weak, try to build up muscles around your knee. It's a great point, Paul. I've been doing a lot of that. There's a resource that I recommend to people called Knees Over Toes, or ATG. Ben Patrick is the guy's name. He started doing like at-home rehab videos some years ago. And I think he now has, merch and equipment and stuff too. But his background is in like, really intensive knee pain and problems, and doing lots of split squats and things to strengthen the quad. So I've been doing some of that, which is definitely helping, I think, day to day. The problem is that my ACL isn't going to, heal itself or get any better without surgical intervention. So I'm really just trying to put that off as long as I can, I think. Some little sparks coming up there, guys. If your knees... Oh, you said that? What size is the mat you're hitting off? This is 5x3. 36 by 60. I started playing golf at 4. That's awesome, Hudson. Awesome to have a head start. I think anybody who plays golf as an adult always wishes they had started sooner. I started at like 10 or 12 and still wish I had started sooner. Still not having much in the way of success. When it comes to running the launch monitor with this guy, but that's okay. What you see is what you get, guys. So, starting to become a little disappointed with that launch monitor, to be honest with you. My dad was a pro golfer and played with Anthony Kim. That's pretty cool. Give some chipping shot tips. Well, what exactly is causing you trouble in your chipping? Is it contact? Is it distance control? Generally speaking, though, my advice is learn how to hit a consistent shot. Where your setup is the same, the ball position's the same, the swing that you're making is largely the same. Because when you're chipping, you want consistency. So learn a shot, like one shot. Hey, out. Out from there. So I always suggest that people learn, a pretty basic chip shot, right? Where the ball's, in the center or slightly back in your stance. The feet are pretty close together and maybe a bit open. And you're not doing a lot of hitting or hinging. You're really just swinging this club, swinging the triangle that is your arms and the golf club, right? And just develop that very basic chip shot until you feel extremely confident that when you're around the green, whether it's in the rough or the fringe or even in a bunker, your objective, your goal is to get on the green and have your next shot be played with a putter. Right? You might be 30 feet away. If you're on a downslope and you're in a short-sided position, right? Sometimes you're still better off just hitting that basic chip. It might run out to 20, 25 feet, but what you're doing is you're mitigating the risk of, flubbing it or thinning it across the green. A situation where you're finding yourself chipping again. Those are the situations where we make double bogeys and triple bogeys. Is it the RAPSODO? Yes, exactly, Billy. Hassan says distance control. So with your chipping, again, contact is going to be so critical. But a great drill you could try is, put a tee down on the practice green when you're chipping. Grab 5 or 6 golf balls. Put it down, I don't know, 15 feet in front of you. Maybe 5 yards. Right? Chip the first ball and try to chip it just past that tee. Right? So it bounces and rolls just past that 15-foot mark. Then hit the next one, and you're trying to roll it, or have your chip shot end up, call it 16 feet, right? Just past the ball you hit, but again, past the tee. So that's a good drill that I've used on the chipping green. Or you can do the same drill with the putter, right? Practice rolling the ball a certain distance and then rolling each subsequent putt just past the one before. So trying to build that skill and feel of how much energy you put into the club. What is your lowest round? My lowest round is 64, guys. That was 600 par. What club do you think you use most? Around the green, definitely 60 degree. I think it's one of the clubs I use the most round to round because I hit pretty much every chip shot and bunker shot with this club. As well as, most shots, call it from 40 to 75 yards. I think my favorite club still most days is driver. It's the club that I feel the most confident with. And yeah, driver, this club as far as short game goes and my putter, I all really have a high degree of confidence with. I love your videos. I'm just too impressed. Thanks so much, Tim. Goodfellas Golf said putter. Putter is a really good one. What is your favorite golf course? It's super hard to pick just one. I think as far as like the coolest golf experience I've had, outside of like some really exclusive private clubs, Cabot Cliffs up in Nova Scotia was an insanely cool golf experience. Just the way the golf course is carved into the cliffside and these huge 50, 60-foot cliffs on some of the holes running down the ocean. That was a really special just property and setting for a golf course. I'd love to go back there to Cabot again sometime soon. I'm looking to build a little hitting bay at my house like this. Any suggestions? I do have some suggestions, Billy. If you want a really in-depth look, there's a full-length video posted on my channel about building this whole thing, and I had some thoughts and shared some insights about my experience. My style or personality is more to invest in things that are going to last. So I spent more on a hitting net, right? This is a net return net that I think will last for 10 years. As opposed to like a cheap Amazon one that I just didn't think would last more than a season. And I'm glad that I've made those investments. Oh, you're in the danger zone, baby girl. What are you doing in the danger zone? Which courses are around you? What is your favorite iron? Most of the people like 7. I'm going to go for 8 iron. 8 iron is probably the club that I feel the most comfortable with. It's also the one I hit the most. I mean, you can look at, this is what my 8 iron looks like. So it's gotten lots and lots of practice. Anything from like 165 to 145, I feel pretty confident, hitting that number with this club. And it's a nice tool to have, right, guys? You don't have to hit every shot, at 100% and have it try to go the same distance. Okay, you're in the way. I know, you're not. You got to help us practice, though. Go find your brother. Where's your brother? Whew, it is cold. Tell your dog I said hi, I will. Look up Lofoten Golf Course in Norway. I definitely will. That's cool. Alex wants to know what breed. She's a Labrador Retriever mix. Clean Ferals. Thanks, Billy. I really love your videos. So inspiring. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate you saying that. The good news, guys, is there's going to be even more videos coming soon. As we lean into this YouTube thing and trying to keep making content that I'm proud of and talking about things that are important to me. I think when I started, I was having a lot of fun with it and realizing that, there's a steep learning curve to editing and filming videos. But once I started getting some traction and we started building this community together, guys, I think there's enough of a demand for this overlap between golf and real life stuff, right? Whether that's sobriety or mental health, some of the things that I talk about and that are important to me and have been really pivotal to my experience as a human. There's just such overwhelming support and demand for that sort of thing. And I think a lot of us are just looking for someone to say, yeah, that's the experience I've had, or that's what it does feel like. So my point being, over the last few months, there's been, sort of a shift in my mind in terms of what this thing could be, as opposed to just a, side project I do when I'm playing golf or practicing, and more into like, you might be able to really make this, the thing you do full time or spend the most amount of hours in your day working on. And that's really exciting to me, guys, because I know based on the feedback that you guys have shared that it matters, right? This stuff is resonating with you guys. People are saying, this is helping me. This is inspiring me. So that's all great. I'm excited to see where it goes next, but what's your goal with golf and the channel? Oh, that's a great question, good fellas. It's we sort of just talked our way right through that one. How often do you play? Recently, it's been like once a week, which is not enough to play good or even decent golf, in my opinion. I've been practicing a lot, but having a harder time getting out on the golf course. It's also that time of year, guys, where season's really winding down. Love that wear mark. Thanks, BV. What golf brand do you use? I use a whole mix. A lot of TaylorMade in my bag, but we've got some Vokey wedges, a lab putter. Just doing some tempo drills here, guys, where I'm counting kind of just that 1, 2, 3, 1. It's kind of that ratio that we're looking for. What country? We're in the east coast of the U.S. Hudson says, you're the best. Thanks, Hudson. I'm wanting to start golf. I go to the driving range like once a month. Do you have any tips? Yeah, definitely. So when you're first learning golf, it can be enticing to try to go full speed and hit the ball super far, because that's what you watch guys on TV do, and good players. They make these big, long, beautiful full swings. I would tell you as a beginner, you're better off learning impact at slow speed. And by that I mean, getting this part of the face, right? The part where you can see I've worn the face down. This is the, what we're aiming for. Right? Spend a lot of time early on just learning, how do I get the center of that face onto the ball? How do I hit the ball first and then the turf? Right? These are the key tenets of impact. And you can't spend enough time practicing it. There's all kinds of different shapes to swings, flat and short, long and loopy. The thing that is consistent among all good players is they control where the club face is pointed at impact, they hit the center of the club face, and they hit the ball first and then the turf. So those are the 3 key skills when it comes to impact. And like I'm doing here, you can drill and practice that technique at much, much slower than full speeds. In fact, I would implore you to work on it at slower speed, because you'll make way more progress hitting 80, 90% of your practice shots just like that with the little, 20, 30, 40% swing. Any titles? Yeah, I won a few tournaments back in the day, junior tournaments and things like that. Can I get a shout out? To Elia Rufino, we love your channel. Shout out to you, Elia. Appreciate your support. Absolutely, guys. If you want a guaranteed way to get a shout out, we've launched some memberships on the channel, guys. If you want to show your support that way, that stuff really does help me out as we're trying to get out and film more content. So, slow things down, guys. Work on your technique. 69 viewers. Nice. Beast said thanks. Jesse said thanks. You're welcome, guys. I'm happy to help. That's why I always talk about we're building a community here. This isn't just, you know, me lecturing and giving lessons or whatever. I want this to be a place where people can ask questions and engage, and we can have back and forth engaged discussions. That's what I love so much about the live streaming format is it's interactive. There's no do-overs or, oh, we'll just, you know, edit that out or whatever. You got to be interesting and entertaining and engaging. So that part is really cool. We're going to start doing some members-only live streams. So, you know, a much more kind of exclusive or intimate setting where you can ask questions and not have to worry about, like, you know, 100 other people chatting at the same time. So just some little things that we're doing to try and make some videos, tips for the beginners. I'm new in golfing. What are some of your hobbies except for golf? Great question, Hudson. Outside of golf, I love traveling. I love going to new places and meeting new people, trying new food, and, you know, just broadly experiencing other cultures. You know, some of those experiences are ones that have really shaped me the most as a person. Whether it was going to Egypt or Antarctica or Nepal or Morocco. And I've been to most of Europe. I've been to lots of South America. The only continent I haven't visited yet is Australia, so we're going to have to get there at some point. But yeah, I love traveling. I'm going to watch as much of your streams as possible. Thanks, B Sniper. Appreciate it. What is your favorite place? Well, my favorite place is home, right, where my wife and my dogs are. But other than that, I think Spain is a place where I certainly could see myself living at some point. My Spanish is still pretty good. Si quieres, yo puedo hablar poquito con ustedes en español. Pero para mí es difícil practicar porque aquí no tengo amigos que hablan español. Y yo he pasado tiempo ahí en España hace ahora unos 10 años. Does your wife like you leaving her alone inside while you sit in the backyard golfing? Like, really, man, step up. Well, David, I can't speak for your situation, but I am incredibly grateful to have a very supportive wife who loves that I'm doing things that are important to me and that are making a difference for people. But appreciate your support. Gotham says, appreciate your hospitality and positive content for golf, bro. You're welcome. I appreciate your comment. I love your mentality. Every one of your shorts motivates me. Well, that's great to hear, B Sniper. John, you should challenge some other YouTube golfers to some matches. I have been trying to do some of that, guys. I've been reaching out to some people. These dogs just refuse to listen. Excuse me. Out. Out. Come on. You're not supposed to be back here. Go on. Out. Yeah. It's very silly. Says, I just want to help practice, Dad. I just want to practice. How are the courses in Antarctica? Cold. Very cold. No, I don't think there's any golf there, guys. I did see lots of penguins. Penguins are awesome. Some of the coolest little creatures I've ever gotten to hang out with. Maybe try reaching out to Josh Meyer. I don't know if I know that name. Bob Does Sports would be good. Have you heard about him before? I don't think I've heard of Josh. Bob Does Sports I do know. They just are doing the Internet Invitational. Also, Paul, I watched a whole bunch of Mo Norman last night, and I've been rehearsing a lot of that. You know, he talked about like the vertical drop and horizontal tug, about keeping the club more this way and not going that way, right? But more just like that, which is pretty cool. Really good feel for me to, you know, maintain some of that lag, and my tendency is to get a little flippy. He's a YouTuber, look him up. Who's your favorite PGA Tour player? So 2 answers. All-time favorite, Tiger Woods. Grew up watching him. Current player that I love watching is Ludwig Oberg. John, you can come to Bangladesh. We'll play golf together. That sounds very nice, Hassan. I appreciate your offer. If I'm ever over that way, I would love to make that happen. I haven't yet been to Bangladesh. Tug with the left hand. Yes, exactly. Big Shot Blake says Dustin Johnson. That's a good choice. People forget just how dominant DJ was at certain points in his career. You know, since he went to live and is kind of semi-retired, it seems. That's nice and crispy, huh, guys? You hear that strike? You're going to have to hear it soon because it's going to be dark soon. You won't be able to see it. He also opens on the way through the ball. Have you ever been to the UK? I've been to the UK many times. I actually studied abroad at the London School of Economics way back in the day. That was pretty fun. Yo, listen up, here's the story. What drill do you do to stop flipping? Good question, Ben. I've been dealing with that for a long time in my own swing. The things that have helped me the most to stop flipping is understanding really what causes it. And for me, it was getting really quick and a lot of right hand at the top, right? Sort of throwing the club this way. So to combat that, I did a lot of freezer drills where I would just practice letting that club hang at the top and then swing down. In addition, you can do a lot of lead arm only swings, right? So if you're a right-handed player, hold the club out in front of you with just your left hand, swing it back, take a step, and swing through. And if you can learn how to hit shots in another variation where you can actually hit balls, of that is the Ludwig drill, where he makes a paddle with his trail hand and just push it on the back of the grip, right? You're not really going to be able to apply much force, but learn how to hit little half shots in this paddle position. It will become very hard to flip, right? Because there's no right hand to apply the pressure. But if you can learn how to hit shots by turning and turning, right? Turn back, turn through, where that lead side is really driving the ship. That has been super effective for me to reduce the flipping. What's your favorite song? Good question. Rage Against the Machine. Been listening to that a lot recently. Sleep now in the fire. I always think of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack when I listen to that band. Lights out. Gorilla Radio. He only pulls back to shoulder level, but big follow through. Yeah, I did notice that too, Paul. His backswing is very short, even with the driver. Flipping equals reverse lag. Exactly. Jacob says you're the man. Loving your videos. Never stop, big dog. Thanks so much, Jacob. I appreciate you saying that. Really does mean a lot, these nice comments, guys. Because I'll be honest, like anything, there's days where you're like, man, I don't want to go live stream. I'm feeling sad. I've been feeling that way a little bit myself recently, dealing with this knee injury. And, injuries are things that lots of people deal with. But I think even just mentally, the prospect of not being able to play golf or swing a club for almost 6 months was... That's what it sounds like when you shank it, when you're trying to do that drill. It is getting very dark. That was pretty daunting for me, to be like, what would I do if I didn't play golf for truly half a year? There we go. When did you start playing golf? I took it seriously starting around kind of 13, 14, and got introduced to the game playing it a little bit a couple years before that. So, almost 20 years of experience playing golf now. Where's the Doge? Speak of the devil, right here. We got one right here. We got one. We got one, a wild lily. We got a wild lily. We got a wild lily. Oh, she's kissing. Oh, she loves kissing. Oh, she loves kissing. Hi. Hi, you. Hi, you. Oh, and your brother came to say hi, too? Kissing. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Ah, yes. That's my good girl. What's your brother doing? He's got his coat on and everything. You all stylish today? You a styling man? Was your sister chomping on your scruff? Is that why you're all wet? That seems right. Did you see Mo's divots? Bacon. I know, it's crazy. And just so consistent, too. Like, there wasn't never... Oh, and I'll say this, too, Paul. I noticed the strike, it just sounded the same time after time after time. Keep making videos for sure. You've been popping on my page recently. Great swing. Thanks so much, Ben. I appreciate you saying that. Beat Sniper's got to go. Thanks for being here. Tim says, hey, dude, nice dog. Thanks so much, Tim. Thanks for saying hi. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go hit this light switch. See if that does anything. You want to come inside? I don't know if that will actually make it any brighter. Well, it might make it a little easier for me to see the ball, which is not nothing. They're Loki and Lily are their names, Tim. We're in Rhode Island, guys. Smallest state, small but mighty. Paddle hand. That was fat. I really like this drill, though, guys, because it makes it so hard to flip your hands. You have to turn. It's the same as learning how to hit shots with just your lead arm, right? Which I can't do. Sorry, I can't do it yet. Have you played Oak Hill? I don't think I have. Give me a good swing. I want to see. We can do a nice big full swing. Sure, why not? Golfing with smoke. I just came in from bombing into my net for 3 hours. Can't find one ball, though. I didn't hear any glass, so I guess I'm good. That's very funny, my guy. All right, the people wanted a nice big full swing. This is 8-iron, guys. We'll give it like a nice 160 swing. Pretty good. Strike could have been a tiny bit better, maybe. There we go. Cass said, nice. If you guys are enjoying the stream and you want to hit that subscribe button, it really does help me out. We are on our way to 10,000 subs, guys. And then we'll be on our way to 20, and then 50, and then 100. My wife is on record as saying, if I get to 100,000 subs, guys, I can golf full time. I can play golf every single day. What's your handicap? Right now I'm at 1.3 handicap index. Few more people now, bud. Yeah. We're building it, right, guys? One day at a time. How long have you been playing golf? I've been playing golf seriously for probably 15 years. Since I was in high school. Now in my early 30s. Trying to feel like I'm letting those arms come down a little more. What is your average score? Good question. So guys, my scoring average this year was, I think, like 75.7. So even though I'm a 1 handicap, I played some difficult golf courses, and so my average score was in that, 75 to 76 range. Hey, ASO is here. What's up? Cash said that's awesome. Incredible. I'm glad you guys can still see me, because it's getting harder and harder to see the golf ball. Which is fine. Almost 200 of you guys now. Drop a like for you guys. 200 showing support. Let's see how these swings look on camera. Pretty good. Pretty good. Feel like you're flowing, bud. Yeah, thanks, Paul. It does. The swing feels really good. Just sending it up. Letting it pause for a second, right? Working on that tempo. That's what I'm feeling anyway, right? It's almost like that club is just sitting up there for a second. I'm thinking about getting a TS3 extra stiff driver. Well, Titleist makes great equipment, and as long as it's a good fit for your swing and your spin numbers and stuff, I'm sure it'll do you solid. Out here hitting balls in the dark, in the cold. This is what I do for you guys. What I do for myself, trying to get as many reps in as we can heading into the winter. One feel that I've been experimenting with, guys, is almost like, you know how if you had a hula hoop around your waist, to send it, to circle it this way, you'd have to kind of go and then back around this way. It's kind of how we're shifting our weight in the golf swing. My scoring is like 72, 70, 85, 71. As soon as I have 1 or 2 bad breaks, I just lose the round entirely. I've been there, ASO. I used to be just like that. I can remember so many times, even in college, playing in tournaments, and I'd be like 1 under par through 15 holes. And I start thinking about like, all right, just, get in the barn, just make some pars. And you hit one bad shot, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's ruined. The round is over. And it's not, right? You just got to chip it back to the fairway, hit it on the green, try to make a putt, tap it in for a bogey if you miss. But instead, a lot of times I try to hit these hero shots. You make, doubles and triples. It took me a really, really long time to divorce my, how I was feeling emotionally from how I was playing and the shots I was choosing. Because my bias or my personality is not to like chip it out to the fairway. It's to say, well, yeah, of course I could hit like a slicey high 4-iron around this tree and hit it on the green and make a birdie. Right? But that's not really how you play good golf and make good scores. My club head speed is 105 to 110. That's really good, Elias. Absolutely, but the material side, the mental side is brutal out there. Yes, it requires practice. You have to actively work on it. I now have gotten pretty good at identifying when I start to get flustered or out of my zone and losing my focus. And there's some breathing techniques you can do. I like sometimes to just take a moment and like feel the wind hit me in the face and be present and be like, okay, I'm here, I'm fine. You know, if I hit a bad golf shot, nothing's bad's gonna happen, right? Maybe I'll make a bogey, that's no big deal. So just try to stay present, you know, whether that's with some breathing exercises or grounding yourself. That wasn't the best swing. That's really good advice. I'm glad that's resonating with you, ASO. It is, but I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's the thing that I struggle the most with. And I think I'm often convinced that if I had a caddy or like a sports psychologist, they would instantly make me like 3 shots better at golf, because I'm so convinced that my ball striking skill is adequate to be like a +3 handicap. And I just am not good at staying focused and selecting the right shots out there. So it definitely requires work and practice. Another thing that I've been trying to implement that's difficult, but you hear good players do, is they'll try to play 3 holes at a time. So like, can I play, you know, holes 1 through 3 even par? So you're not worried about like the tough tee shot on 6. You're just saying, can I play 3 holes at a time? The feeling the wind bit, yeah. Try and guess my age. I shot 265 and used X-Shift driver. Well, I have no way of knowing, so that seems like a silly thing to guess at. That was a really, really good strike. Ah. Hey, Bruce is here. What's up, Bruce? Appreciate you saying hi. Glad you guys are enjoying watching me hit these balls in the dark. John says, Sim 2 Max irons any good? Yeah, I'm sure they're pretty solid. I don't have first-hand experience with them, but as a brand, TaylorMade makes high-quality equipment, so if you get a good deal on them, I would say give them a try. That was crushed. Double D is here, back on the course tomorrow, 58 and sunny. I'm jealous. It is not that here. It is cold, windy. Safe golf or risky golf? I tend, personality-wise, to be more of an aggressive player, but the older I get, maybe the less risky of a golfer I'm becoming. And see what's crazy, guys, is like swinging like this full speed, my knee feels totally fine. Like no pain. Like I could just stand here and hit balls for hours and hours and hours. But if you asked me to walk around the block, my knee would be like, absolutely not. So it's a bit frustrating. To be honest, I'm not really that curious or interested in how old anybody is. I like to think that my content is suitable for pretty much everybody, you know? Taking care of yourself and being nice to people. That's relevant for people of any age, I like to think. I'm the vibration. I am really trying to get a comment from Tommy Fleetwood, guys, because there's been so many comments like, are you Tommy Fleetwood? You look just like him. Are you related to him? So I do think it'd be pretty cool for the channel to get a comment from Mr. Fleetwood, 2025 FedEx Cup champ himself. Was the setup you're using now expensive? Some parts of it were, some aren't. The most expensive part is the net return hitting nets. This was an investment I made because I wanted something that would last at least 5 years, if not 10. Also, Bruce, if you're interested, I do have a full-length, long-form video about my hitting setup posted on the channel if you want to check that out after the live stream. But some of it was very budget, right? I did very cheap, artificial turf here, and this hitting mat was a pretty budget one that needs to be replaced. You ready for a sim? I want to see some data. So it's a great point. We do have this RAPSODO mobile launch monitor here set up, but I just think that this kind of tier of product, right, that very entry-level launch monitor is going to do best, in my experience, has been it performs best at the driving range. It doesn't work great out here in this kind of setup. So, but yeah, I would love to get, a real sim with some quality data set up out here at some point. I don't know if that's like an MLM2 Pro or something else that works better with a net. Bruce says, I'll check the video out later. Awesome, Bruce. Appreciate that. Also, guys, get ready. Friday, just a couple days, Friday afternoon, we're going to be dropping a 2-man scramble video where you can watch me maybe drop my golf clubs in the dirt. But no, that was a really fun video. Max Cerrone says, I saw your post. If you get 100K subs, your wife will let you play golf all the time. That's exactly right. Yeah. I shouldn't even say that. It's not that she would let me. I mean, if I was able to say I had 50,000 subs and we were making a living, doing live streams and posting videos and, maybe some sort of podcasting or guesting on podcasts. The point is, guys, I have a mortgage and bills to pay. And I would love to do that by making content about golf and about mental health and sobriety and these things that are important to me. But that takes time, right? You got to, really build a platform and a community. And that's what we're doing. It just takes consistent effort over a period of time. But yeah, my thinking has shifted on it quite a bit over the last couple of months to, if I could find a way to make this my career or pay my bills, then I definitely would. It's super rewarding to engage with you guys and to hear people say, listening to you talk about your experiences made a real impact for me in my own life. I mean, that to me is the most rewarding, validating thing I could get out of doing this. And to know that there's a path to build, if you build a large enough platform, then there's sponsors and brands that are interested in working with you to make that a reality. And I think that's the path that we're trying to jump onto. We started as, hey, this is fun, and I'm going to be doing golf stuff anyway. Like, why not learn how to make videos? But this engagement and the back and forth and the validation that comes along with it in the community, right? Those are things that I wasn't necessarily expecting and am thrilled about. So Max says, I have a question. Sure, ask your question. How did you get so many subs? Good question, Max. Like I was just saying, I think there's no secret. There's no special sauce or upload your videos a special way. I just started posting. Some of my original videos are terrible. They're just like AI voiceovers with, random clips of me and stuff, playing golf and stuff. I like to think they've gotten better and that I've gotten better at live streaming and making this engaging and having some back and forth. But the honest answer is I just started. I started figuring it out as I go. Every video that you guys have seen on my channel, guys, has been filmed by me on an iPhone, edited on an iPhone. So the barriers are not very high, I don't think. And I just started posting. I just said, let's figure it out as we go. And I posted pretty much every single day for 10 months now. And that, I think, is the answer. I think the answer is just consistency. I can remember still, how exciting it was to get up to 100 subs and then to 200, right? And I'm going to be thrilled when we get to 10,000. But these are just milestones, right? The hard work comes from just every single day showing up and posting something or saying, how can I, find a thing to make content about? What do you use to edit? There's an app called Power Director that I really like on iPhone or on iOS. BJ Delion says, great swing, sir. Did you play college or just a weekend golfer or weekend grinder? No, I did play some competitive college golf, which was super fun. I'm really grateful for all those, former teammates I'm still really close with those guys. We play golf together pretty regularly and go on a boys trip every fall to some new place. We went to Sand Valley this past year, so you guys have seen a lot of Sand Valley content from that trip, and I wouldn't have had those relationships and friendships if not for the game of golf and from playing on a college golf team with those guys. So super, super grateful for that experience. I can drive a ball 189 meters. That's good. Keep up the hard work. Wow, it is really dark out here, guys. Really working on keeping that takeaway nice and wide. Yeah, that looks really good there. What is your record drive? The furthest drive I've ever hit, guys, is probably about 350 yards. And that's in really firm conditions, you know, with the wind behind me. In college, I was like a 180 ball speed guy. I could really move it out there, although I, you know, very rarely hit the fairway. Oh, that wasn't hit very good. And now I live in like the low to mid 160s on the golf course, probably. The fastest I've seen this year is 172. What are you swinging? Hi from Thailand. Hello. Welcome, Aiden. This is 8-iron, guys. Maybe there's enough light to see. Yeah, look at that 8-iron. Hit this club quite a bit. No glove. No, this is... I also, speaking of, you know, monetizing your YouTube channel, if anybody knows a glove company, I am in desperate need of more practice gloves. Beauty. Look at that brown spot. Yeah, just lots and lots of practice, right, guys? That was hit nice. Sorry, couldn't see it. Oh, you're good. Don't worry, bro. Guys, Putt King recently celebrated 38 years alcohol-free, which is honestly so impressive. Someday I'll reach a milestone like that myself, but I'm coming up on 5 years, which I'm still incredibly proud of. There's definitely a version of myself, a younger version that, you know, would never believe you if you told them that someday I would have been sober for this long. But it is possible to change your life and make big changes. I would never tell you guys that it's easy, but my experience hopefully is proof that it is possible, right? If you've been following the channel, you've probably seen some of the shorts, you know, with old pictures of me, and you're like, that doesn't even look like him. And you're right, it, you know, it looks like a totally different person, because it is. And there's something kind of beautiful about that. All right, guys, we're going to hit one more shot and call it a day for today's stream. Oh, we ended on a really good one. Give that one a little twirl. How has the net held up? Any wear spots? The net is amazing. This thing will last a decade. If you want to learn more about net return, there's a link in the description. You can also get 10% off if you're serious about buying one. Use that code there. We've had some of our subscribers take advantage of that. But yeah, RAPSODO and net return, guys, are the only products really that I have worked with so far. Pure. It's a real struggle sometimes, but so worth it. Totally. Paul says, Nightbud, have a good one. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Appreciate you all checking out another stream, staying with me into the moonlit hours. Drop a like and hit that sub button, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for another live stream.